With the launch of Borderlands issue 47, it's pretty great to have so many people here to kind of be able to launch this into existence, and so we're very happy to see everybody. My name is Ryan Sharp, I'm the editor of Borderlands, and we have a overwhelmingly fantastic lineup of poets here. I was telling somebody earlier that I feel like this is like a Texas Book Festival kind of event instead of just being like an issue launch, and so I'm really excited to have everybody here and the family and folks. The artist on the front, Owen Max Dodgden, we have some of his work up here on the walls. There's this piece over here, I guess it was in the City Hall or the mayor's office or something to that degree for a long time. And he's not going to make it, I don't think, unless we get like a different update, but I wanted to make sure we highlight his work. It's also on the cover and it's featured in the issue, and we're excited to have it. It's really interesting work, and it complements the poetry, I think, really well. Outside of that, this is an interesting issue for us because we kind of did things a little bit differently. Usually we have a featured poet. Several other people here have been featured poets before in the issue, and what we did is we decided to have a political issue. And so I asked several of the past featured poets to send us their politically inspired or politically flavored poems and have us include it in kind of a featured section, and they all responded to a political prompt. And so you might be able to see that in the featured section, and all of them, essentially the prompt was, what is the political power of poetry? What can poetry do politically? Which is a question that I talk about in the editor's note that I've kind of wrestled with recently when it comes to having a lot of highly emotional, socio-political views while being in a community that's insulated around people that share those views. And so this concept, particularly in the social media environment that we're in, of confirmation bias, where we're constantly following things that just confirm our beliefs, and our friends tend to have those beliefs, and then if they don't have those beliefs, we can unfollow them or hide them. And the poetry community itself being somewhat left-leaning to a certain degree, and how can these poems that are trying to make a political statement reach the ears in which it could maybe make a difference is something that I've kind of been grappling with both poetically and critically. But I think the responses that came back from these poems and the interview questions, I think, were really interesting, and they all made me feel optimistic about the power of poetry, and that despite all the things and concerns that I just listed, that there's still a way for poetry to create greater legibility for the underrepresented and for those that are marginalized and for all the issues that I think people were marching for today and yesterday and continue to march for all around the world. And so it's an interesting, I think, thing to kind of set as the backdrop or as kind of the centerpiece of the issue, as I think that these are things that, especially in the context of what's, the marches, like I said yesterday and today, to kind of be considering, especially as we gather to hear poetry. Also a really interesting thing, and we'll introduce him again later, we have our youngest reader ever with young Will here. And so that's an exciting thing. And so I'm excited to see. Not only is that, he's the only reader that's ever gone to a swimming pool with my son, and so I think that's also that's cool too. So without further ado, I'll introduce our first reader, Kristen Anderson. Her chapbook here on Prince is on sale back there. It's really interesting looking, really cool. And I would say that because in her bio, one thing she announces that she's a poet, but the second thing is Prince fan, which I think shows her priorities. It's pretty interesting. Starbucks connoisseur, glitter enthusiast living in Austin, Texas. She's an author of 8 chapbooks, including We're Doing Witchcraft, Pray, 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 Poems I Wrote to Prince in the Middle of the Night, and 17, 17, 17. Kristen, an editor at Red Paint Hill, and once upon a time worked at the New Yorker. We're excited to have her, this is her first poem in Borderlands, and we've been excited to be able to feature that as the first poem in the collection, and she'll be the first poet to read today. So please welcome Kristen Anderson.